Books that changed the world. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. How you doing? Today I want to talk to you about a book that changed the world and still changes the world in many respects. Frankenstein. It was written by Mary Shelley in 1818 when she was just 18 years old. It's often called the first true science fiction novel, but it's much more than a monster story. It really is a story about humanity, responsibility, loneliness, and what happens when knowledge outruns wisdom. Well, the novel follows Victor Frankenstein, a brilliant young scientist obsessed with discovering the secret of life. Eventually, through science and experimentation, he creates a living creature from dead body parts. But the moment the creature opens its eyes, Victor is horrified by what he's done. And instead of caring for his creation, he abandons it. And that changes everything. Because the creature is not born evil. In fact, at first, he is curious, emotional and desperate to belong. He watches families from a distance. He learns language. He longs for friendship. But everywhere he goes, people reject him because of how he looks. Again and again, he experiences cruelty, fear and isolation till eventually pain turns into rage. And that's one of the great ideas behind the book. People often become what they experience. And the real monster in Frankenstein may not be the creature at all. It may in fact be Victor's refusal to take responsibility for what he has created. And the idea feels incredibly modern. To be specific, today we live in a world of artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, social media algorithms, and technological power that previous generations could barely imagine. Humanity has become incredibly good at asking, can we? But sometimes we forget to ask, should we? Or, what happens next? And Mary Shelley saw this danger over 200 years ago. She understood that intelligence without wisdom can become destructive. Knowledge without responsibility can damage lives. And the novel also speaks powerfully about loneliness. The creature says, I was benevolent and good. Misery made me a fiend. And that line still hits today. So many people carry hidden loneliness, rejection or shame, and often the wounds we ignore in people become the very things that later break them. And the Bible speaks into this deeply. In Genesis chapter 1 verse 27 it says humanity is made in the image of God. That means people are not experiments. People are not accidents. People are not disposable objects. Every person is created in the image of God, has dignity and value and worth. And unlike Victor Frankenstein, God does not abandon what he creates. And the Christian story says that God moves towards broken humanity, not away from it. So where Victor rejects his creation, Christ enters into suffering to redeem his creation. So perhaps the challenge of Frankenstein is this. Will we use our power responsibly? Will we see the humanity in those society rejects? And we'll remember that wisdom matters just as much as intelligence. Because changing the world is easy, the harder question is whether we change it for good. It says this in Proverbs chapter 9 verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So Lord, give us wisdom as well as knowledge. Help us to value people, take responsibility for our actions, and show compassion to those who feel rejected or alone. Amen. So this week ask yourself, am I becoming wiser or just more informed? Thank you for watching.